Scholarship in Action encourages students to use the academics they learn in the classroom to become contributing citizens in a global society. But what does it mean to you?
One word. Scholarship in Action.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Hard work.
I don't know.
Using what we learn to better society, better our community, better the world.
Oh, I had it.
Involvement.
That's a good question.
Maturity.
A blessing.
Education.
Let's go with growth.
However you sum up Nancy Cantor's initiative, the Office of Resident Life plays a key role in harboring an educationally stimulating environment.
Which is so important. Having everyone on campus and the resources understand the importance of what we do and how we help the students in this community to be successful in other parts of the college.
No one said college was easy. Parents worry about academics, but more importantly, students worry about fitting in. During the student's self-exploration stage, a group dynamic theory called forming occurs.
The students go through a honeymoon phase with their roommates and with the people on their floor where they just love everyone.
It doesn't happen the same for each group that goes through that process.
You want to kind of take all the bad things that you don't like about yourself and kind of become this new person. I mean, it doesn't really end up happening that way. So of course, when I first got here, I was wearing my cutest clothes and like trying to make good impressions and trying to come off as like someone I'm kind of really not. But I think everybody does that.
I just wanted everybody to like me, and I didn't want to like judge anybody. So it was like I was accepting to everybody, and I tried to talk to everybody all the time, and that's not really my personality.
I was really nervous because I didn't really know like what to expect, and I didn't really have any friends yet.
But like all honeymoons, they end, and the reality of academic success kicks in. According to Bruce Tuckman's theory of group dynamics, storming, stage 2, begins here.
Storming will typically happen about a week into classes. They're starting to get into their own groove of things. Maybe they've started to form study groups so that they have common interests with other people and they can get something accomplished.
It's just as important as any other phase because it allows for students to get out who they are and where they want to see that group go.
My role in the group is very mother-like. I make decisions. I'm the first one to be like, okay, we need to do this, or it needs to be quiet here. And
oh God, I'm not a good decision maker. I don't really make many of the decisions in the group. I just kind of go with the flow, and whatever everybody else is doing, that's what I'm doing that night.
As groups proceed through the various phases, the notion of community involvement and making further connections with your floor becomes paramount.
I think if you went floor to floor here at any given night, each community would look very, very different.
Each individual who comes here has a different story to tell.
It did hit me pretty hard in the beginning since I wasn't used to the place and the weather was different and the people are different. It's a different language and the culture is different. And there's a majority of people who are from different places within the United States. So it's different ideas, different people.
A lot of nights you will find the students that have common interests out in the lobby. Either they're studying together or because they have a similar class, or they're all just studying their own subjects but they don't want to be in their rooms alone. TV shows are also a very popular way to bring students together along with sporting events.
One of the main challenges an RA faces is creating a community that values all of its members.
I think the biggest challenge is getting your floor involved. It's hard to find things that cater to everyone on the floor, and when you do, it's hard to accommodate everyone with times.
Sometimes I'm like either too busy with work or I'm actually in class.
I'm assuming there's probably people who might not think it's cool or whatever, but for me, I love these things. I think they're awesome.
It's kind of disappointing to put events like this together and stand out here and expect people to come in, but nobody's really interested.
When it comes to upperclassmen living in a primarily freshman environment, it can be even harder to integrate them into the community.
And it may be that they never get as involved. They may never come to a program, but you may have the one thing that interests them and they do come to it. So it's looking at a victory or getting someone involved in a very different way than a freshman who would come to every program.
And there's a big maturity difference between a freshman who just has encountered college and is learning about all these new things, and a sophomore who's been here for a while and kind of knows the hang of things.
Honestly, I do not make an effort to talk to anybody else. I have found my friends already, and I don't feel like I need to make friends with any of the freshmen here.
It was a little difficult because I didn't really know where to go as far as like freshmen, because I was around more freshmen than sophomores. But I mean, it just kind of worked out. I had sophomore, freshman, junior, senior friends.
According to the Team Handbook by Peter Schultes, membership and inclusion plays a significant role in establishing relationships. To be included in a group, many students resort to underage drinking as a rite of passage.
That there's this assumption when you get to college that you drink. So I think they feel like, along with peer pressure, that need to, well, everyone else has done it, so I need to do it as well.
It's peer pressure. They want to feel cool. They want to hang out with their friends. They want to do what their friends are doing, or they want to like space out to the point where reality is a new reality to them. They don't like where they are now.
At the same time, like, I've grown like a close bond to these people, and like I feel bad when something goes wrong or like they're not feeling well. Like, I mean, when Dylan didn't feel well, I felt horrible, and like I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to do anything I could to help him.
You just sort of look at that. I mean, a lot of the times you know that person, and then they come back trashed, and it sort of changes your perspective of that person. So it's sort of awkward. The chemistry of the floor sort of is altered in a way.
Some students don't realize the detrimental effect they can have on the floor community because of their actions. Last weekend, a female Syracuse University student decided to drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes in her room, a direct violation of ORL. One of her floor mates comments on the issue.
Maybe she's having issues being here at school. Maybe she's missing her family. Something must be going on. I've been to a couple floor meetings, and honestly, she doesn't come. I don't know.
These are the students who are top priority for ORL, and Jennifer Smith feels the RAs are the first step in getting to the root of a problem.
The RAs are really there to keep checking in with them. So if there's a student that we're concerned about, the RAs will just continuously check in with that student, hoping to make enough of a connection that at some point they find something that that student would want.
I think one of the best activities, one of the best things an RA can do is to find somebody that student can relate to.
Relate to a house. Like, the thing about being in a dorm is that everyone is right here, right together, so that if somebody does one thing, it affects everybody, even if it's not intentional.
Sometimes drink because they don't have anything else to do. They haven't connected with another group, so they'll drink in excess.
Luckily, most students are successful at college. A large chunk of that success is because of the RAs. They are responsible to harbor an environment where students can learn from one another, live in an open community, and ultimately succeed as contributing citizens in a global society.